DJI is the undisputed king of the drones, but with so many models available, which one is right for you? Let's take a look and find out. The consumer drone world is pretty much a one-horse race, with DJI offering everything from tiny toy-sized drones through to amazing professional rigs. That means that there's a good option depending on your aerial photography needs, the size of your photography backpack, and of course your budget. Thankfully, we've tested the lot, so here then are the best ones you should consider. Right at the smallest end of the range is the DJI Mini 2. As the Mini name suggests, this thing is absolutely tiny and can fold down almost small enough to fit in your pocket. That makes it superb for traveling where you don't want to carry around a dedicated photography backpack, but you also don't want to miss out on the opportunity of getting some really cool aerial shots. It's got a stabilized camera on the front as well as a variety of automated flying modes, which makes it really simple for beginners to get good looking footage. Its small size does mean that it is quite susceptible to wind though, so if you're planning on flying in more wild conditions, you might want to consider something a little bit bigger. The Air 2S is DJI's most recent addition, and while it might look physically identical to last year's Air 2, it's got a whole new camera system including a much larger image sensor. Now that lets it take better looking still images along with video footage at up to 5.4K resolution. Its bigger size makes it more stable in difficult conditions, but it still packs down small enough to fit inside a standard lens compartment in any photography backpack, which makes it great for adventures. It can fly up to 12 kilometers away from where you're standing, it's got sensors all around to help it stop crashing into things, and it still has a variety of automated flight modes which can help you get really cinematic looking footage when you're out and about. Don't write off the Air 2 just because the Air 2S is here. It's pretty much the same size, has similar battery life, it can shoot video in 4K resolution, and it still has a wide variety of intelligent flight modes. It has a smaller image sensor though, as well as a few other missing bells and whistles, but as a result, it comes in at a more affordable price. If you're after a decent drone for photography on hikes up in the hills, but you can't quite stomach the cost of the Air 2S, the Air 2 is a great option to consider. First-person perspective or FPV drones use a headset to give you a view directly from your drone's perspective. It can be an exhilarating way to fly, but it's typically only been available to enthusiasts who've been building their own FPV systems. DJI's FPV is the first commercially available first-person perspective drone, offering not only that amazing exhilarating perspective, but speeds up to 97 miles per hour and 4K stabilized footage. Flying it does take a bit of getting used to, of course, particularly if you're trying to navigate it at full speed through some trees and you don't want to smash it to bits. It's also worth keeping in mind that that view from the goggles can be a little bit nauseating at times, particularly if you suffer from motion sickness. But if you've been wanting to get those dramatic FPV shots that have been dominating Instagram recently, this is the only drone on that list with the skills to get you there. With its 6K RAW capable camera, its independent camera operator controls, and its wealth of other cinematic features, the DJI Inspire 2 is aimed squarely at the professionals among you, or at least the enthusiasts with very, very deep pockets. Unsurprisingly then, it's also the largest drone on this list, requiring not only a dedicated flight case for the drone itself, but cases for the controllers and the batteries and any other accessories that you'll need in order to get the best looking footage. As such, this is not a drone to consider if all you want is to capture your solo hikes up in the hills. Instead, you can expect to see the Inspire 2 as part of professional production crews filming things like TV shows, commercials, or even feature films where portability and of course cost is less of an issue. But if you're looking for the ultimate in image quality from any of DJI's drones, the Inspire 2 is the one to go for. So those are the 5 best DJI drones that you can get right now. Remember that whichever one you get, always make sure that you are flying within your local laws and that you have not only the permissions but also the safety knowledge to take to the sky. But what do you think to DJI's lineup? Are you excited about the world of aerial imagery, or are your feet firmly planted on the ground? Do let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and make sure to like and subscribe for a lot more from CNET.